Greetings, my name is Ramoel Sipin. Today we're going to be tackling the topic about sedimentary and phosphorus cycles. Our planet is a dynamic system of interconnected cycles that allow life to thrive. Two of the most important cycles that shape our environment are the sedimentary and phosphorus cycles. The sedimentary cycle is responsible for the movement and transformation of rocks and minerals on Earth's surface. It plays a critical role in shaping the landscape, creating fertile soil, and supporting ecosystems. The phosphorus cycle, on the other hand, is essential for all living organisms. It is a key component of DNA, cell membranes, and energy transfer molecules like ATP. Without phosphorus, life as we know it would not exist.
Hello everyone. My name is Carlo Cucio. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the sedimentary and phosphorus cycles, two important processes that are involved in the Earth's biological cycling. The sedimentary cycle involves the transfer of materials such as minerals and organic matter from land to the ocean through the process of erosion. Weathering and transportation, these materials are then deposited in the ocean as sediments where they can become buried and preserved over time. The phosphorus cycles, on the other hand, is the process by which phosphorus moves through the environment, cycling between the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Phosphorus is an essential nutrient for all living organisms, and it is required for various biological processes such as photosynthesis and DNA synthesis. Phosphorus is a typical release into the environment through the weathering of rocks and minerals, and it is transported to the ocean through the sedimentary cycle. In the ocean, phosphorus can become incorporated in the food chain and eventually recycled back to the surface through various biological and physical processes. However, human activities have significantly impacted both the sedimentary and phosphorus cycles. For example, excessive fertilizer used in agriculture can lead to increased levels of phosphorus in surface waters, which can cause eutrophication and harmful algal blooms. Additionally, activities such as deforestation and construction can increase erosion rates and alter sedimentary cycle. That's all.
Sedimentation plays a crucial role in the phosphorus cycle, which is the process by which phosphorus moves through the environment. Phosphorus is an essential nutrient for plants and animals that is often present in low concentrations in soil and water. When plants and animals die, their organic matter decomposes, releasing phosphorus into the environment. This phosphorus can be taken up by plants or it can be transformed into inorganic forms that are more available for plant uptake. However, a significant portion of the phosphorus in the environment is in the form of sediment. Sedimentation occurs when particles in water, including those containing phosphorus, settle to the bottom of a body of water. Over time, these sediment particles can build up and form layers of sediment at the bottom of the water. This sediment acts as a reservoir of phosphorus, slowly releasing it back into the water over time. These lead to increased phosphorus levels in the water, which can promote the growth of algae and other aquatic plants.
Hi, I'm Abegail Pontillas. So the question is, why are the sedimentation cycle and phosphorus cycle is important? Well, the sedimentation cycle and phosphorus cycle are part of the biogeochemical cycle that regulate the flow of matter and energy in the biosphere. To answer this question, the sedimentation cycle and phosphorus cycle are important, especially inland, because they affect the soil quality and fertility, which in turn to influence the growth and productivity of plants and animals. The sedimentation cycle can enrich the soil with nutrients and minerals from organic matter, but it can also deplete the soil by removing the topsoil or causing soil compaction. while the phosphorus cycle can provide plants with phosphate ions, which are essential for their metabolism and development. But it can also limit the plant growth if the phosphate ions are not available or bound to other substances in the soil. Therefore, both cycles, which the sedimentation cycle and phosphorus cycle, are need to be balanced and maintained for a healthy and sustainable land ecosystem. Since the phosphorus cycle is also a sedimentary cycle, this phosphorus cycle is said to be a sedimentary cycle because of the sedimentary rocks and other rocks which give rise to cycling of the phosphorus from the abiotic component to the biotic components to the back. And these following are the important steps in phosphorus cycle. These are weathering, absorption by plants, absorption by animals, and return to the environment through composition. So first step is weathering. Phosphorus is found in the rocks in abundance. That is why the phosphorus cycle starts in earth crust. The phosphate salts are broken down from the rocks, and these salts are washed away into the ground where they mix in the soil. Second is absorption by plants. The phosphate salt dissolved in water which absorbed by the plants. However, the amount of phosphorus present in the soil is very less. That is why the farmers apply phosphate fertilizer on agricultural land. Third is absorption by animals. The animals absorb phosphorus from the plants or by consuming the plant-eating animals. The rate of the phosphorus cycle is faster in plants and animals when compared to the rocks. And last is return to the environment through decomposition. Since the phosphorus cycle is also a sedimentation cycle, which both are important. Therefore, it should be returning back the phosphorus into the ecosystem. For instance, when the plants and animals die are decomposed by microorganisms, and during the process, the organic form of phosphorus is converted into the inorganic form, which is recycled to soil and water. The soil and water will end up in sediments and rocks, which will again release the phosphorus by weathering. Thus, the phosphorus cycle will start over.
What are the harmful causes that affect phosphorus cycle? Various natural and human factors can affect the phosphorus cycle, some of which can be harmful. Here are a few examples. First, deforestation. Clearing forests for agricultural purposes or logging can increase erosion and loss of topsoil, which can carry phosphorus into waterways and contribute to eutrophication or the excessive nutrient growth. Next is climate change. Climate change can alter precipitation patterns and increase the frequency and severity of droughts and floods, affecting the availability and movement of phosphorus in ecosystems. Next is mining. Phosphorus is often extracted from mines, which can release harmful chemicals and pollutants into the environment. Next is agricultural runoff. Excessive use of phosphorus fertilizers in agriculture can result in runoff into waterways, causing eutrophication and harmful algal blooms. And lastly, the human sewage. Human sewage contains high levels of phosphorus, which can be discharged into waterways and contribute to eutrophication. Overall, human activities such as deforestation, agriculture, mining, and sewage disposal can harm the phosphorus cycle, leading to water pollution and eutrophication. Therefore, it is crucial to manage these activities sustainably and minimize their impact on the environment.
Firstly, unlike the other cycles such as the water or carbon cycle, the phosphorus cycle is relatively slow and does not involve a gaseous phase. Instead, it primarily occurs in the soil and water bodies. Secondly, phosphorus is often a limiting nutrient, meaning it is scarce and limits the growth and reproduction of organisms. As a result, it is essential for plants and animals to maintain a balance of phosphorus in the environment. In contrast, other cycles such as the carbon and nitrogen cycles have an abundance of their respective nutrients in the atmosphere. Thirdly, the phosphorus cycle has minimal atmospheric involvement and primarily relies on geological weathering to release phosphorus into the environment. This process can take centuries or even millennia. In contrast, the carbon cycle involves rapid exchange between the atmosphere, oceans, and other living organisms. Fourthly, the phosphorus cycle is heavily influenced by human activities such as mining, agriculture, and what wastewater discharge, which can lead to an excess of phosphorus in water bodies and cause harmful algal blooms. In contrast, the water cycle is impacted by human activities such as deforestation, urbanization, and climate change. Finally, finally, the inefficiencies in current fertilizer management practices that are leading to increased phosphorus pollution and environmental degradation. This highlights the importance of sustainable management practices and the need for efficient use of phosphorus resources. In conclusion, understanding the unique characteristics of phosphorus cycle is crucial for sustainable management of this critical nutrient.
Unfortunately, human activities such as deforestation, climate change, mining, agricultural runoff, and human sewage have disrupted this cycle, leading to negative impacts on the environment and human health. In this slide, we'll explore some preventive measures that we can take to protect the phosphorus cycle. First is to promote reforestation and afforestation, encouraging the planting of new trees and restoration of degraded forests can help restore the natural nutrient cycle that is disrupted by deforestation. Second is protect wetlands and other natural filtration systems. Wetlands and other natural filtration systems can help remove sediments and pollutants from waterways, thereby helping to prevent sedimentation. Third one is implement erosion control measures. Erosion control measures such as terracing, cover cropping, and the use of riparian buffers can help prevent sediments from being washed into waterways. Fourth is implement mine reclamation plans. Mining companies can develop mine reclamation plans that will restore mined areas to their natural state. Next is implement nutrient management plans. Nutrient management plans can help prevent excess nutrients such as phosphorus from being applied to fields, which can lead to runoff and disrupt the phosphorus cycle. Next is implement wastewater treatment. Wastewater treatment. Wastewater can contain high level of phosphorus, so implementing effective wastewater treatment can help prevent the release of phosphorus into waterways. Lastly is control livestock access to waterways. Livestock can contribute to build up of phosphorus in waterways through their manure. Therefore, controlling their access to waterways can help prevent these issues.
In conclusion, the phosphorus cycle is critical for sustaining life on land and in aquatic environments. Sedimentary rocks are a vital component of this cycle as they are the primary reservoir of phosphorus. However, human activities such as deforestation, mining, and human sewage have significantly disrupted this cycle, adversely affecting the land and its ecosystem. Anthropogenic activities such as deforestation, extensive agriculture, and urbanization have altered the natural landscape and disrupted the phosphorus cycle. Soil erosion and excessive fertilizer use in agriculture have led to increased levels in phosphorus in waterways, causing eutrophication and harm to aquatic ecosystem. Similarly, urbanization and industrial activities such as mining and wastewater discharge have also contributed to the disruption of the phosphorus cycle, further intensifying the environmental problems that we currently have. To mitigate this adverse effect, promoting reforestation and afforestation can help to reduce soil erosion, enhance soil fertility, and restore natural habitat. Implementing, implementing erosion control measures such as planting cover crops and etc. can also help minimize soil loss and nutrient runoff. In conclusion, it is vital that we recognize the adverse effect of anthropogenic activities on the sedimentary and phosphorus cycle and take action to protect and preserve these critical processes. Through sustainable practices and responsible management, we can ensure a healthy and thriving environment for the present and future generations.